The very top point of my chart, which we call the MC, that was the highest point on the ecliptic when you were born. Venus is there. So Venus is sweet. It is creating harmony. It is loving, and so this is how I come across in my career. Like, this is my gift to give, is to love people and accept people and help them create feelings of harmony and understanding in whatever point in their life they're at. If I had Mercury up there, like, sure, I might just want to like rattle off a bunch of facts and data to them. But like, that just, in my mind, leaves people overwhelmed and is not really true to what I am here to do. I mean, I think my greatest gift to them is more Venusian than Mercurial. So, that is one way I see that. I also have like 3 planets in Libra, which is very relationship oriented. So I am very much like creating give and take relationships with clients. Like, so many of my clients write me emails regularly, send me text messages, voice messages, because like I am really staying in tune with what's going on in their lives, and they're teaching me as much as I'm teaching them, right? So like, these are really deeper relationships that are being created, and that, I value that so much. I wouldn't want my practice to be any other way. And again, going back to the chart, I see why that might be important to me. And I need to lean into that instead of letting the way other astrologers practice be something I'm like copying and pasting into my own practice.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, it truly is like you can do something in so many different ways. And it is hard to hear somebody of authority that you respect a lot say, this is the way you do it, and still go home at the end of the day and be like, but not me. I'm going to like stay really rooted and grounded in that. And I think it's like, for what I do, right? There's so many ways I can market my own business, or like how I can show up in my business, right? Like, not every coach or, team facilitator has a podcast, but like, that's part of me expressing myself and sharing my knowledge with the world in a way that works for me, right? And this self-expression, and there's probably, yes, there's camera and all this stuff, right? It's a very Leo way to like express myself, right? To have conversations with people and put videos out into the world and things like that too.
That's so beautiful. And when we go back to the chart, we can really validate our instinct to do something differently and stop judging it and lean into it instead. And I think that's something so amazing that astrology has offered to me in my life, in every single aspect of life. But again, especially in career, I am a black sheep. Like, really, my astrological studies is the first place I feel like in my life where I do pay more attention to authority than I had before. I feel like, and this comes from my chart as well, but like, I kind of needed to develop my own sense of authority internally because I couldn't really find it outside of myself. And so it was strange to get into the astrological community and start listening to all of these authority figures who I look up to, because I'd never had to necessarily deal with that before. And also come to terms with the fact that, okay, I can take or leave whatever guidance they're giving me. And yet the chart helped me do that, and helped me say, no, that's not genuine for me. And I am an entrepreneur, like I need to lean into these pieces of self, because I try to practice what I preach, right?
Yeah, right. Exactly. You're like, yeah, just look for the insights, and then you can choose however you want to be,
Mm-hmm. Which isn't always easy. It's very different when you're working for someone else or have bosses or managers who you're reporting to. But I think even then, there are ways that we can express you know, what our interests are and like at least get the ball rolling to trying to find a way to bring more of ourselves into our work as you're such a big proponent of.
Yeah. At a minimum, recognize a really poor fit. If you
Mm,
have a manager that's micromanaging you and you have a lot of signs from your natal chart that like autonomy is really important to you and not being controlled, then like, okay, maybe not a great fit, right? But you can also find a boss within a corporate environment that wants to give a lot of authority and actually wants to be hands off. And so there's that, you know, we don't always have choice in who our managers are, but it's also like we can recognize too when to leave something that is especially wrong and not a good fit for us.
absolutely.